Good evening. I'm Nancy Hohengarten, and I serve as your judge of Travis County Court at Law number 5. I'd like to talk to you first about my experience and why I believe that I'm the person to continue to serve you. I've been practicing criminal law exclusively for 25 years. I worked as a felony prosecutor, prosecuting serious offenses like sexual assault. I worked as a criminal defense attorney defending those very same types of crimes. And then, for the last 14 years, I have served as one of your misdemeanor court judges. I've handled hundreds of cases, different types of hearings, trials, and have got all of the endorsements of lawyers who know what it means to have someone on the bench and how important that experience is. In other words, the Austin black lawyers, the Hispanic lawyers, and in the bar poll that's been mentioned, I received 517 votes to a grand total of 138 from my opponents. There are three things I want to talk to you about with regard to my efforts to reform criminal justice and find solutions to problems that we have. It's been the most rewarding part of being a judge for me. The first thing I'd like to talk to you about is the work I've done diverting folks with severe mental illness from the criminal justice system. Since day one, I have worked to create programs that provide legal counsel, that have the experience and education needed to represent folks with mental illness, programs that help to divert people before they're booked into jail by having the integral care, MCOT team, mobile crisis outreach team, work with law enforcement to divert people into emergency mental health treatment. I've also worked to create programs for release of folks with mental illness from jail. The second thing I'd like to talk to you about is what's called the Sobering Center. The Sobering Center is a place where people that have been charged with public intoxication can be taken to sober up safely, cleanly, and be released. It's an idea that first came to Austin in 2002. There was a study, and it was put on the shelf, and nothing happened. In 2014, I took that on. I was able to get the entire city council and the entire commissioners court to approve a stakeholder group to move forward. Since that time, they created a local governmental corporation, and I was appointed board chair. The reason that this is so important, this is a movement that has taken place across the country. Both Houston and San Antonio have sobering centers, and we've lagged behind. Now, when someone has a public intoxication charge, instead of going to jail, being booked, having their picture show up on statesman.com and be fingerprinted and end up with a criminal history, instead they'll go to a place where they can receive help, treatment referrals, and assistance in moving on to the next stage of recovery if that's what they need. The last thing that I'd like to talk to you about in terms of reform is what's called the Travis County Law Library driver's license program. We have a lot of people in my court that have driving with suspended license cases, and they are typically folks that are poor and have not been able to pay the horrendous surcharges that the state of Texas levies against them. If they get their driver's license reinstated, they get their case dismissed. But the problem was they couldn't work through the DPS system. By working with the law library, I established a program for free reference attorneys so people can go, any citizen of Travis County, and get their license reinstated. I have been endorsed in this race by every Democratic group, by Labor, by Women's Political Caucus, by Lloyd Doggett, Senator Kirk Watson, your representative Celia Israel, and many of the attorneys that practice in my court. Certainly over 150 attorneys at this point. And that's because they know me, they trust me, and they want to see me continue. I appreciate your support. Thank you.